So today, we're going to dive into how to stop that endless cycle of overthinking and start thinking a little more like the top 1%. We're going to break down 6 key mind shifts that'll help you get back your mental energy and focus on what actually matters. Let me just start by asking you a question. Does it ever feel like your brain should be charging you rent for all the thoughts that are just living up there rent-free?
Yeah, it's a feeling I think pretty much all of us know.
And you know how it goes, right? It usually starts with something so small. You're standing there for 10 minutes just trying to decide between coffee or tea, and then suddenly that one little moment of indecision just snowballs and it paralyzes the rest of your day. That is the classic trap of overthinking. But here's the good news. There is a way out. We are going to walk through 6 super powerful mind shifts to help you clear out all that mental clutter. We're not just going to talk about the problem, we're giving you the actual tools to solve it.
Okay, let's dive right in with our very first mind shift, learning to see the gray. This is a big one. It's all about breaking free from that all or nothing, black and white thinking that so many of us get stuck in.
Just look at the power of one little word here. On one side, you've got black and white thinking. It's so final, right? I failed, my day is ruined. But on the other side, just by adding the word and, you change everything. I failed and I learned. It just opens up possibilities instead of slamming the door shut. I love this way of thinking about it. Life, and especially progress, it's not just on or off. It really is more like a dimmer switch. It's a gradual process of adjustment, not some instant success or epic failure. All right, so here's your first actionable step. Sometime today, I want you to find just one thought where you're using or, like this or that, success or failure, and I want you to consciously change it to and. You might be really surprised at how much lighter it feels. Let's get to our second mind shift. Now, this one's going to feel a little counterintuitive at first, but trust me, it is so incredibly effective. It's called think backwards. You know, most of us, when we want to achieve something, we ask this question, how can I succeed? But the problem is, this question often leads us to try and plan for every single possibility, which, let's be honest, is a direct path to overthinking and just not doing anything at all. The top 1%, they flip the script. They ask, what would make me fail? Now, this is so powerful because the list of things that could make you fail is usually way shorter and way more manageable than the infinite list of possible steps to success. Top strategists actually call this a pre-mortem. You imagine the project has already failed, and then you work backward to figure out why. And this is exactly why it works. You're not trying to build some perfect, flawless road. You're just identifying the potholes, the really obvious obstacles, and you're making a plan to avoid them. It just simplifies everything and cuts through all that noise of overplanning. Okay, our third mind shift is all about staying flexible and focusing on what actually gets results. It's about prioritizing progress over any one specific method. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? We get so stuck in routines that honestly just don't serve us anymore. We become loyal to the method. But top performers, they're only loyal to one thing, progress. Think about it. An elite athlete isn't going to stick to a training plan that isn't making them stronger. They adapt because the goal is progress, not just checking a box. So here's your move for this one. Think of one thing you do, maybe a study habit, a workout, a daily task, that just feels heavy, like a real chore. I want you to give yourself permission to let it go, completely guilt-free, and replace it with something that actually feels like it's moving you forward. Remember, letting go isn't quitting. It's making space for what actually works. All right, on to our fourth mind shift, and this is where we get really strategic. This one is all about finding your bottleneck. So what exactly is a bottleneck? Well, picture a highway. You've got 4 lanes of traffic, but one slow car in a single lane is backing up absolutely everyone behind it. That slow car? That's the bottleneck. In pretty much any goal or project, there's usually one single thing that's holding everything else back. So often, we try to fix 10 things at once. We stay busy, but we're not actually making any real progress. We're polishing the chrome on the car when the engine is broken. The key is to find that one bottleneck and pour all your energy there, because at the end of the day, focus always beats busy. And now for our final section, which really covers this powerful duo for long-term success, making decisions calmly and acting with consistency. Let's tackle them one by one. Okay, let's start with calm. When we're stressed out, our brain is just looking for the fastest relief, not the best solution. It just reacts. The calm brain, though, has the space to actually think and seek clarity. Think of a seasoned CEO or a high-stakes poker player. They don't make their biggest moves when they're panicked. They pause, and they wait for that moment of clarity. Major decisions should always be made from a place of calm, not chaos. And once you've made that calm decision, the second part of this duo kicks in: consistency. Look, success isn't about one heroic, amazing effort. It really comes down to the simple but incredibly powerful formula. 1. Just show up. 2. Repeat the process, especially when it gets boring. And 3. Understand that real mastery is built on those dull, unexciting days when you just keep going anyway. Ultimately, it's not about being the most talented person in the room or the fastest out of the gate. The real winners, the ones who make it, are the ones who have the endurance to just stay in the race long after all that initial excitement has faded. Consistency, that's the real superpower. So let's do a super quick recap of the 6 mind shifts we covered. See the gray, not just black and white. Think backwards to avoid failure before it happens. Prioritize actual progress over any specific method. Find and fix your true bottleneck. And finally, decide from a place of calm and then act with consistency. And that leaves us with one final question for you to think about. Based on everything we've just talked about, what is one habit, one method, or maybe one way of thinking that you are ready to let go of starting today to make a little more space for progress?